Welcome back. This is the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Yeah, I'm just looking at the craft, man. What, did y'all couldn't hear the again?
I think it is because it went too loud.
Oh, snap.
Try to say, do it again. Just,
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, well, this is the Cruise Dynasty podcast. I'm here with the craft man, C Swizzy. Craft man, what's going on, man?
What up? We're in the fantasy offseason now.
Yep, I said I wasn't going to make any trades to my team. I was going to sit on it. I've already made 2 trades. But if people come to me with this gold, I'm just like, I'm paying low, getting some good things. I'm like, crap, man. I did, you know me, like I'm not a big believer in K Tony, but I've been holding on to him for the longest time. Will Savage sent him to me for the 203. This is a 10-man league, so it's really like the 201. I felt like that's about as good as I could get. What you think?
Yeah, I talked to Will last night. We were playing basketball, and he said, he's like, I'm about to trade Matt for K Tony, give him the 203. And he was like, what you think? I was like, I think I'd do it. I mean, he was in our buy low episode. Second round is kind of low. It's an even deal. I mean, like we've seen the upside of Tony, but we've also seen the injury history. So,
yeah,
you know,
another one I made craft was I traded a third from this year and a third from next year, and got Zay Jones.
Thirds are useless.
That's what I said. I was like, dang, are you? So for coming up in this next year, all I got to do is lose 1/3 and I get Zay Jones.
Yeah. I mean, thirds are like, what would y'all say the percentage of a hitting a third round pick is?
Like at the very highest, like 27 probably. Like that's like the high end, I feel like. 27%.
Man, look, I don't even know.
What a number. That man was thinking about that one for a minute.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Heck, I done lost my train of thought. But what? It takes a couple years too, because I think I was using third round picks on Zamir White. So I'm about to see this year if this one pans out. I feel like so. I would say maybe 1 out of the whole fucking third round, maybe you could hit on. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. Because I think the second round's tough to hit on. You got to hit on them guys. So get to the third round.
Yeah. I got Rashad White in second.
Yeah, so that was a good one.
Pretty good about
so did my
one.
brother. All right, well, shoot, man. We just went off on a whole little spurt. This episode is going to be some sell highs. Chris, we on YouTube and Twitching and all that shit tonight.
Oh.
Twitching and YouTube. So if you don't check us out, follow all the shit. We're gonna give some sell highs. But a sell high is a pretty simple episode. We had already talked about it. Might bring up a couple scenarios as well, but pretty easy episode, I would say. Friday night, just chilling. So crap, man, what'd you say? Am I missing anything?
Sounds like you got it.
I guess I'll also say it depends on where your team is at too. Because if you're competing for a championship, you probably don't want to give a lot of these guys up, maybe. Especially if you think you can win it this year. But you also want to, try to get out from under some guys, get some value from them before they, really fall off the cliff. Or something crazy, and you can't get shit for them. You just got to drop them. Even a third's better than nothing. So, but yeah, we're gonna sell high tonight. So,
man, ain't it crazy how like 27 years old in the dynasty world, 28, you're like, man, we gotta get rid of this old guy, and we're all sitting here at like 28 years old, and I don't know. I don't want to call myself old yet. I feel like I still got it a little bit. Damn. If I was in the fantasy world, though, all these folks would be like, get rid of his old ass.
Yeah. Shit, I'm old, bro. I'm 29.
Bro, I'm gonna be 30 at the end of the year. Shit.
you 28, Crab?
No. You didn't have to point that shit out. I really been saying I'm 28 for a minute, and I keep forgetting that I'm 29, about to turn 30.
That shit's funny, man. And now we sitting here podcasting and shit. Like, what the fuck? Shit's hilarious, man. All right, man. Let's just start it off right. And listen, man. Some of these, like, these are so high, so like, probably wrong too. I don't know. Like, I got some sell highs that I'm gonna give you, but mostly like the easiest ones are like running backs. As far as like quarterbacks go, it's tough to do some of those. Wide receivers, I mean, you know how it is. There was only a couple I would even sell because some of these guys are still rolling, like Tyreek Hill and all that shit. So it's like, but that quarterback, and dare I say, I think I might get some. I think I might stir it up a little bit. First one tonight, sell high, Justin Fields.
Okay.
What y'all think?
I thought about putting him in there.
Can't be sustained. What he's doing, man. He's just straight running, man. He got no weapons. Let's just see. I guess we can see what they do with this draft pick. They talk about maybe getting rid of his ass. Going to get Bryce Young. Be honest, would y'all rather have Bryce Young or Justin Fields?
I would rather have Fields.
Yeah, I would rather have Fields.
You talking about NFL wise or fantasy wise?
NFL. If
Oh,
I'm the Bears.
NFL wise. No, I wouldn't. I'd keep Justin Fields if I was the Bears.
Yeah, if I was the Bears, I would do it. I'm just saying, like, you got to have the balls to make a move like that. I don't think they got the balls. Honestly, they could just trade the pick though, get a haul for it.
They should.
Yeah, but I don't know, Justin Fields. I don't know. I actually like Justin Fields. I just think his situation sucks. How much better could it be? They just traded the second round pick for Claypool and shit. We'll just have to see.
I mean, they got a lot of. From what I've seen, I think they have the most money in the league though, and they got a couple picks. Even though they traded that second, they got number 1 overall. If they move down, the only thing I know they're not going to do with the number 1 overall is draft a damn receiver, and that's what they need. And I mean, they need a lot of things. They need a lot of pieces on defense, but they bring a receiver in there. The free agent market on receivers this year is awful in the NFL. Like, I guess the best one is like Jacoby Myers and DJ Chark. I mean,
I have seen, and what I've been looking at, that because the biggest people they're in talks with is the Colts. The Colts want that number 1 pick. They want a quarterback taking number 1. I've seen a couple deals that they've involving Michael Pittman for going over to Chicago. I mean, that would give him more than what he's got, but I feel like Michael Pittman, you probably want to stay put. You might get your franchise turned around with a better quarterback.
Dang,
go over there.
Fields,
Chicago is kind of a dumpster fire right now, so.
I mean, that leaves the Colts with Alec Pierce and Paris Campbell. I don't. Alec Pierce could be a.
There's definitely been worse. Yeah, there's definitely been worse receiving cores, I feel like, before.
Yeah, look at Chicago this year. Equinemius, and when Mooney got hurt, Equinemius and Dante Pettis, and who else we got running around out there? I mean, can't even name the other guy. And Claypool was hurt.
Oh.
He needs receivers. Justin Fields gets a number 1 guy out there, he'll be fine. Plus all that rushing upside.
Shoot, really one reason I was thinking I've been doing a lot of mock drafting, a lot of super flex mock drafting. This dude Justin Fields is going up there with Lamar Jackson, sometimes ahead of Trevor Lawrence. This dude's going up there, so I think I might have even seen him go ahead of Justin Herbert one draft, and I thought that was insane. So I don't know. It just makes me think this is where his value. He's valued pretty high, and I'm not saying he's a bad either way. I mean, I like Justin Fields, but I definitely don't see him as like a 7-8 kind of guy, top 7-8. You know what I'm saying? So Sell high, man. Sell high. What if I could trade Justin Fields and get a Trevor Lawrence? Y'all wouldn't do that?
I mean, I might would because I don't think that this Russian that he's displaying, like, I don't think this is sustainable. Apart from a few years that he's doing this. I mean, he is avoiding a lot of contact, but at some point, these people are going to be hitting his ass. And he's going to have to learn how to be like Lamar, where Lamar doesn't take a lot of big hits when he runs the ball, and I mean, it's just going to come down to it. Shit. Like we talk about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry been running people over for years, and we don't know when this dude's going to stop.
Yeah. What you say, Kraft, man?
He took a lot of licks this year. A lot of licks. By the end of the year, he was in and out of games left and right. I mean, he can't be doing that. I think he can still run effectively and be the top rushing leader in the NFL if unless Lamar plays a full season. But I like Justin Fields just because of that rushing upside. I mean, I think I would just hold, in my opinion, with Fields. I don't think I would try to be buying him or selling him at this point. Because the draft might turn things around, or they might just trade. I mean, free agency wasn't great last year with receivers. Tyreek wasn't a free agent. Devontae Adams wasn't a free agent, but they ended up moving. So you throw enough money at some elite receiver, that's all he needs, and he'll jump way up.
If you could trade Justin Fields and get a Lamar Jackson, would you do it?
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd take Lamar then.
But you said you wouldn't do Trevor Lawrence?
It's about the same for me.
Whew. What about Trey Lance?
Lawrence is safer.
What about Trey Lance, Kraft?
No, hell no. I keep Fields.
All right, give us a quarterback, man. Or you got one?
Yeah. Talk about stirring the pot. I'm going with Joe Burrow.
Ooh.
I mean, he finished. Yeah, this is my ultimate sell high right here. I mean, we finished as a QB4 this year. Had a great year. He's had 2 good years, but we all seen what pocket passers can do. I mean, look at like Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Herbert. He was the premier pocket passer last year in 2021. Threw for 38 touchdowns. This year, dropped to 25. That shit can happen to Joe Burrow too. I mean, them touchdowns can go down in a heartbeat. I do like his weapons a lot better than like Herbert got, but when it comes to pocket passers, I mean, I just think the fantasy world is getting more and more reliable with these rushing quarterbacks right now, and I like that reliability more than I do the touchdowns from pocket passers. So,
yeah, Kraft, man, that just cracks me up. That little one, because we just started the Superflex League or whatever. So, and then you get that 10. What'd you get the 104? You talk about, yes, I'll take some Joe Burrow. All right, Joe Burrow.
who would you take at the 104? Wait, all right. Y'all don't draft before me, right? I guess it don't matter. We're here for the people. We're here for the number 1 overall.
It is what it is, man. Yeah. They gonna know what it is.
If Jalen Hurts makes it, I'm drafting Hurts over Burrow. But if Hurts don't make it, I'm going to draft Burrow because I do think Burrow. After that, it becomes a little murky. But in my opinion, if we were going to tier base these guys, it's going to be, Allen, Mahomes. You can throw Jalen Hurts in there, and then it breaks. And it goes to probably Burrow after that. And you start throwing in Herbert, guys like that. And then another tier break. And then you get in them rushing upside guys, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, all them guys. But Burrow, I like what he's done, QB4. But as long as Mahomes and Allen and Hurts and all them stay healthy, I don't think he's going to finish QB1, but be solid. I mean, these are sell high guys. We're not telling you got to trade these guys, but this is like if you're going to get somebody at the peak performance, I think this is Joe Burrow's peak, unless other guys get hurt.
Right. I'm with you. Agree. Chris, you got anything to say about Joe Burrow?
No. I mean, like I said, with Justin Herbert, those touchdowns dropped this year. Dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, even Burrow dealt with Chase being injured a few times, but I like his weapons better. But I could definitely see him getting through a slump, and I'm in with Austin that this is kind of like his peak area that that he's going to be in.
Just think if the Bengals were like the Lions and they ended up on the 1 yard line with Joe Mixon as much as the Lions did, how much some touchdowns would go down. I mean, it's a fickle bitch, man. You never know.
Yep. Agreed. Chris, man, throw a quarterback at us if you got one.
All right, I got one that this is probably the biggest peak of his career and the only peak that I foresee. Finishes at QB number 5, Geno Smith. If you can get anything for Geno Smith, you go out and you fucking get it. He threw for over 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I've always said I thought this dude was one of the biggest busts I've ever seen. But team, he waited around, got his chance. He played really good. I mean, shit, Seattle played really well this year. He made the playoff, lost, but shit, they made it.
Yeah,
but
right.
I think that this is the best season that we're going to see from Geno. We're going to have to see next year if they go and bring somebody in or continue to use him as kind of their bridge quarterback. I think if you can get any kind of value for him, early second, something like that, take it. Take it and go.
Yeah. I like that one. He's on my list, so you knocked me down one, so that's
he was the only
yeah.
other one. He was the only other one I had on my list for quarterbacks. Crap, you got another quarterback name you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I just got one just based on previous performance. If, you football heads, we're all watching the playoffs right now, and a little nugget for everybody. All these playoff guys that are still playing right now are sell highs. Like this is the quarterback I got, Daniel Jones. Great game against Minnesota. The whole world is watching. Daniel Jones put up a great game against Minnesota's trash defense. They'll probably go out. They need a receiver bad. And, Daniel Jones has been performing pretty well from week 15 on through these playoffs. And even if he loses next game, which they probably should against Philly, and puts up a decent performance, everybody's going to remember that, not remember what he really is that we've seen throughout his career. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one.
Right.
You just had to light it up. Light it up and smoke it, man. Do what you do.
I was just halfway listening, but what I was agreeing with what you were saying. Talk about Geno Smith, right?
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah, Daniel Jones. Well, listen, I was asking I wrote down Daniel Jones' name. I was like, because he was one I was going to ask y'all about. So y'all are willing to sell high on Daniel Jones?
Yeah. But yeah, for sure. And like one thing I said, Matt, I don't know if you heard it, but what do you think about like all these players? I'm talking about running backs like McCaffrey and Saquon, all these guys that are playing in the playoffs right now, that they're probably going to end on a high note at the end of this year. And that's what people are going to remember them by. So any of these guys in the playoffs are probably sell highs because people are still watching them play.
Yeah.
As soon as the playoffs end, you go in there, you say, man, you see what he did against the fucking Vikings? You don't want this guy? So,
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you. I agree with you. Yeah, Daniel Jones definitely had a good year. I think he definitely finished in the top 10 this year. A lot of rushing upside. So, you saying he's a sell high?
Yeah, he's a sell high for me.
To me, he's like a Ryan Tannehill type of guy.
He runs. I mean, Tannehill I think it's very, I'm not sure what the word is, but Daniel Jones is a very underrated rusher.
Yeah.
He's rushed for over 700 yards this year, which is the same as Jalen Hurts. So, I mean,
basically what I'm saying is this is like the style. He's like a better version of Tannehill is what I'm saying. He's going to have like the same kind of contract because New York's going to pay him, but he's not going to get – there's no way he's going to get top quarterback money. You know what I'm saying? This dude's definitely about to get like a –
Here's my question about Daniel Jones, though, is it because this offense doesn't have like many weapons and he's kind of like the game manager throwing short passes, being careful with the ball? Is it helping him more? Like, what did they bring in? Just say they bring in a good receiver and they say, hey, we're going to open up this offense for you. Is that good for Daniel Jones, or is he going to start turning the ball over left and right again? Because he's playing safe right now. He's been playing safe all year.
Yeah, well, they definitely going to have to open up the passing game some if you're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but
they got to win the Super Bowl this year.
Shit, they might go out there and beat Philly.
Hey, I could see it. I could see it.
I've been calling them frauds all year, Kraft. All year.
Well, yeah, we've been calling Minnesota frauds all year too. It was fraud 1 versus fraud 2 in that last game.
The Fraud Bowl, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you got to say, Chris?
Do what? Oh no, I was just saying I don't see it anyway. The Giants beating Philadelphia, I just don't see it.
Ooh. I don't know. Oh, Matt's froze over there. See him?
Yeah, Matt frozen.
Yeah, I see. I was listening though. Well, I heard a lot of but yeah, I got you. You got it. Y'all got any more quarterbacks y'all want to throw out there?
No.
What about Jared Goff? Sell high on Jared Goff?
Not really. I think the same thing I said about Jamal Williams being on the 1 yard line, 17 touchdowns. Some of them could have gone to Goff. He could have ended up in the high 30s this year. And Jameson Williams coming up, shit. He might be a buy low if they keep him. After the contract is signed, he might be a buy low.
Right. Right. All right, let's just move on to some running backs then. Cause I'm sure I got a lot of running backs, so I'm not just gonna go into detail with all these guys. But maybe I'll ask y'all about some. I would say my main sell, my most controversial one, main sell is gonna be Ramondre Stevenson for the New England Patriots. I got a share of him in the Dynasty League. I'm selling. Dudes with the Patriots. These dudes, it's not like the Patriots ever re-sign these running backs long term. I could see, as far as like giving them top dollar, this dude Ramondre is good. They'll probably just let him walk. I'm just being honest. That'll happen in a couple years. He could be in a committee as soon as next year. They drafted 2 rookies last year. Might give Pierre Strong a little more run this year. I think this one's probably my most controversial one because Ramondre's pretty good. Finishes like RB9 or something like that. It was definitely a RB1 season. So, what you say, Crap Man?
I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree. You know how I feel about Patriots running backs, but they don't have the same kind of talent as they used to. Like James White, when he was there, was the clear third down back. It was if it was third down, James White was in. Ramondre can catch better than Pierre Strong at this point. He's a good pass catcher. If Ramondre was just a first and second down guy, I would say, I would agree with you a little bit more, but I don't know. I think his ability, if he can just stop fumbling the ball, his main problem is just fumbling, which will get you benched in a heartbeat. But he's by far the most talented on this team, and even Belichick, he likes to use multiple running backs unless they find them a little scat back, third down back this year. Then I think he's fine in at least 2 down roll, and he's going to get 70% of snaps till they find a good third down back, which is good. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way that I'm selling Ramondre Stevenson is if it's just heavily in my favor at this point. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, they drafted two running backs last year. I mean, fuck, Bill Belichick might only sign fucking running backs in the draft coming up. I mean, you know how it goes. But I think even if the Patriots do decide to move on from him, Ramondre's proven that he's good enough that this dude's going to be on a roster. So,
Oh yeah, no doubt. Here's another thing I'll say. Damian Harris spent some time on the IR, I believe, and then right when he came back, he was on the field for 48% of the snaps, and then 53%
Damian Harris is
the
good,
next week.
and Damian Harris is gone.
I think Damian Harris might be the one that he's going to bring back because he's going to be he ain't going to have to pay top dollar or anything like that. Could probably bring him back for the low. To me, it seems kind of obvious at this point. That's what New England
Ramondre
does.
is so good though.
But you're telling me if Damian Harris is back next year, Ramondre's just going to be on the field? I think even if Damian Harris is gone, it could be a possibility of a committee again.
I mean, he might be a committee guy, but he's going to be the pass catcher. PPR leagues, he'll be fine even with Harris back. He was fine at the start of the year when Harris was healthy. I mean, he really took off when Harris went out, but I mean, what would you say the percentage chance that Harris comes back? I'm about 30% that he's back.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of likely at this point because nobody's going to pay money for Damian Harris. I feel like. I mean, what teams are going to go out there and do that, especially with other free agents out in the market?
Why wouldn't the Broncos do it for Javonte coming off the ACL? Why wouldn't they do it?
How much you're talking about, like top dollar running back money?
I mean, he ain't going to get top dollar anywhere he goes. He's been too injured. Damian Harris ain't been out there. He's been a decent fantasy guy, like a RB2, and in real life, that's kind of. I don't think any team, even the Patriots, look at him as just this crazy bell cow, going to be the best guy in our offense. You know, the focal point. I don't think he's going to get paid that much.
I mean, he was pretty much the lead back for 2 years. How many years? 2 years. He was the lead back in New England. Had some pretty decent years too.
Fuck Damian Harris.
Yeah, I hear you.
What do you got, Chris? What do you think, man?
Just gotta wait and see. I think Damian Harris will get his chance if he stays. I think it'll be more of a committee, but I feel like they're gonna try to focus Ramondre more. He's the better player. I feel like.
I mean, what do you think about Harris's contract? He ain't gonna get paid that much if he goes somewhere, right?
No, I mean, shit. I was about to say, I already know he ain't coming to Carolina. We can't afford it.
Well, if he ain't gonna get paid that much, he might stay with New England because they're not gonna pay him that much.
I don't think he would want to stay with New England. I don't think many players really like. I don't know. To tell you the truth, they probably get out of it.
You just a hater, man. They love it up there.
I don't think so. Tom Brady left.
Yeah. All right. What you got then? Toss some running back names out there.
All right. I'm gonna give y'all a couple just because they're all these old guys that these old 28-year-olds. But
yeah,
you know, Derrick Henry, you got probably 1 year left. You've got to sell now. You can't wait till next offseason because it might be too late. So that's just my basis on that. He might have a great year this year, but what do we always say? Like 1 year too early. I'd rather be 1 year too early than 1 year too late when you can't get nothing. So Derrick Henry, Saquon. That one might be a little controversial. We can talk about that one for a minute because he probably re-signed. But that goes back to he's playing in the playoffs right now. Everybody's got his eyes on him. He's looking great. Not saying to sell him for nothing, but shit. Noah just sold him. He just won a championship. He sold him for, well, we ain't going to break the whole trade down, but pretty much, we'll say the 107 for Saquon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'd say that's about, I don't know. I think he might be worth a little bit more than that, but I
was just about to say,
it was a It was a full deal trade. You want me to break it down for you? Yeah.
Man, break it down. Fuck it.
Well, Noah gave up Saquon and Debo for the 107, the 201, and Freiermuth and a tight end premium. So what do you think? Who won that trade, Chris?
Oh, that's tough. I just feel like I ain't moving Saquon for a pick later than like the 5th pick at this point. After what he did this year. But I mean, tight end premium, Freiermuth is going to be there for a good bit with Pittsburgh. Had a good year this year. 107. I mean, who y'all think is going to be on the board this year at 107? You're looking at like what, Addison and what, Johnson and all of them. Because like in Giga and all of them, Jahmyr Gibbs, they're probably going to be off the board.
From what I'm looking at, From what I'm looking at, it looks like 107 might be wide receiver range.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing.
Quentin Johnson may be the first receiver off the board.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, not bad. I got a 107 too, so I've been kind of looking around. Or you could get one of these running backs. This class is going to be deep at running back. So, allegedly deep at running back. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see about all that. But, yep, I'm with you. I don't know that.
Saquon, though?
I don't know, man. I've been starting to wonder if he's more of like, I don't know, top 3 Dynasty guy. He's definitely about to re-sign with New York. Multiple years. He looks pretty good. It was just that last game, but I mean, shit. I mean, heck, maybe I'm falling into that trap now. I ain't never been a big Saquon guy. Definitely look better, though. Definitely look like,
I mean, he's great when he's healthy, you know. He's great.
Honestly, I would sell Saquon. I think now that I think about it, I would ship him out. That was probably a good one. No, you might should have got a little more then. But I don't know if y'all think of Debo the way Craftman does. Might have been a pretty good deal. I think I might be a little higher on Debo.
What do I think about Debo?
I think Debo still got another top 12 year in him.
He's on my sell high. So.
Yeah. Man,
he ain't even that high right now. He ain't high at all. He ain't even as high as you and Chris.
Shit, I would love me some Debo.
He's like,
for the low?
Would you?
For the low? Yeah.
I'd sell.
What's for the low? 2nd round pick? If I can get Debo for a 2nd rounder, I'm taking that all day.
In his case, it was like the 201.
Man, fuck yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't sell him for the 201. But I mean, well.
So what are you saying? Noah lost the bet?
201 and Freiermuth for Debo.
Sounds like you saying Noah lost the trade. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
I think he did lose the trade a little bit. Just a little bit.
Maybe Freiermuth. I don't know.
I like players more than picks because you can always trade players for picks. You can't always trade picks for players.
But you don't know where these players going to be either. Because I tell you, these mock drafts, man, Quentin Johnson ends up in Carolina. I'm sorry. He's probably fucked. I ain't going to lie. They ain't even going to get this man the ball.
Falcons going to draft him. They're going to be like, we need a bunch of 6'4" receivers and tight ends.
We need all these receivers, and then we're just going to give the ball to Algier on every play.
I'm just going to be real. I will shit myself if we went wide receiver. Man, I cannot take this another year. We did something like that. Man, give us a couple names, a few names.
I had Derrick Henry on there, of course, for the age. I got 2 more for you. One, I would say sell because I'm not sure how this free agency is going to go, and I don't foresee them re-signing him. Miles Sanders finishes the running back 15. 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. He would have had more touchdowns, but he was dealing with Jalen Hurts, the 1-yard vulture, the read option vulture. I don't see this dude staying in Philadelphia. I just don't see it, and if he goes somewhere else, I'm not as high on Miles Sanders because I want him behind the Eagles' offensive line if I want to start him, you know. Like I said, finishes the running back 15. He would have had a hell of a lot more TDs, but Jalen Hurts likes to keep the ball in the end zone a lot, and they run Gainwell and Boston Scott in there too. They were in the market for a running back during the trading and all that. They were trying to get Kamara from what we hear. Another one I got, older guy, real old guy, old Georgia Southern alum, Jarrett McKinnon. If you can get anything at this point for Jarrett McKinnon, I consider that high. The dude's 31 years old. Finished as the running back 20. He had 10 touchdowns this year as the backup. No, that's not happening again. He had 512 yards rushing, 290 yards, or 512 yards receiving, 290 yards rushing. 10 touchdowns in that offense. I don't see that happening ever again. So I feel like if you can get, like somebody throws you a second for McKinnon, you definitely ship that shit out immediately. Don't even think about it, I feel like, at that point.
Agreed.
I like that one.
Agreed. Yep, I'm with you. Yep. All right, heck, I'll just throw out a few more names. I was gonna say Eckler. Don't get no better than being RB1. You know what I'm saying? He's always been talking about getting a lesser load. So I mean, they always trying to find a running back. I seen a mock draft. I can't say who it was. I can't remember, but had maybe Bijan going to the Chargers. I was like, Eckler would love that. I don't think that happens though. But Eckler, and then I would say Josh Jacobs. Don't get no better than RB2.
That's what I got too.
Yeah. So it's like you might as well sell on him. The situation, you don't even know what it's going to be like. I doubt it's going to be with the Raiders. Who knows though?
I'm hearing
it could
that
get better.
He said that he wants to be in the Raiders. He's came out and said that he wants to re-sign.
Brady coming.
Yeah, Brady's coming.
Brady's
I would definitely
he's flying out there now.
So Josh Jacobs.
I don't know where he's at.
What about Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook?
I got Dalvin Cook. And, the one on my team nearest to my heart was the one player in my dynasty. I had to get rid of Joe Mixon. I looked at myself in the mirror every morning. I said, how are you going to get rid of Joe Mixon? And, he gone. I don't think Dalvin, out of all them running backs that are around that 26 to 28-year-old range, Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon look the worst to me this year as far as talent goes.
Man, I'm telling you, Kraft, I'm shocked that you sold Joe Mixon. What'd you get for him again?
102.
Insane. I don't know who did that shit. I would have did that deal.
Hey, they did it.
Was that before or after he scored 5 touchdowns against Carolina?
I got the 101, 102, and 103. I sold Zeke before the year to the guy who ended up with the 103 before the year even started, and then I sold. And then my pick is I think the 102, and then sold Mixon too. So ended up being the first 3 picks. Worked out pretty good.
In our league, somebody traded Christian McCaffrey for Zeke, and it's just been.
Why?
I mean, that was the year before, and then I ended up trading him for McCaffrey, and then McCaffrey played every game this season. Like, he didn't even miss a game the whole season. So,
all these guys that we got though, like sell highs, they're like them running backs that are going to be replaced eventually in the next couple of years. I think that's kind of the sentiment that is going around here, right? Like we're not trying to sell high these young backs.
Except for
Matt with Lamont.
Let me run through it then real quick. Any interest in selling Kenneth Walker? Would you sell him? All right, what about Dameon Pierce? Is he sellable?
Maybe.
For the right price. That's what I'm saying, for the right price. I think Dameon Pierce. And then what about, say, someone like Tyler Algier? Might sell him for the right price.
I mean, he really played great this year, but there's no, the Falcons could draft another one, not real early, but they could draft another guy. They kind of shown that. I don't think Cordero's going to be there, but I don't know. Man. The Falcons love to run the football, and if he's the main guy, you're going to have a great year next year. But if they want to split the work, then There's two different ways that one can go. I'd probably just hold without Jeer. Too risky.
Yeah.
I got two on the same team, a young guy and a bit older guy. DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Matt, you sold both of these dudes this year. DeAndre Swift finished running back 21 with 8 touchdowns. Jamal Williams, our running back 13 with 17 touchdowns. I mean, like we said, nobody ended up on the 1 or the half-yard line more than the Detroit Lions this year, and this absolutely cannot sustain it. I don't think it can. We've been reading that DeAndre Swift was getting a little disgruntled during the year. What you make of it? I know you moved both of them. You got something why you could.
Yeah, I think Swift is like I don't know, like he's a sell high, but he's also a buy low too.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty much
RB21.
Yeah.
That's not what you expected.
Yeah. It's just basically betting on his talent, really. Because I was definitely prepared to hold DeAndre Swift. See, you know how it is. I was in that league. I had all them injured players, so it definitely got to the point where it was like, I'm way too hurt. No chance I'm going to win. So I'm selling some of these guys. So I sold Swift for Pacheco and then what ended up being the 107. And Pacheco's been outscoring DeAndre Swift every week I've had him, except for maybe one, I think. And then traded Jamal Williams for a second and a third.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much sold high on both of them. I wasn't going to get a first for Jamal Williams. So second and third.
I don't know. Akil got a first for Michael Thomas. I don't know. The dude played 3 games.
There's always that one sucker out there, man, that just believes. Yeah. But
Levi.
yeah.
That's
Anymore?
Levi. Levi in our league, there's always that one sucker.
Any more running backs for y'all want to throw out there?
I'll check my list.
That was like the most.
Yeah, we covered all. I did have Jamal Williams on there too, but covered all of them.
All right, let's move to wide receivers. Easily, this is like one of the most easiest ones, I think. Cooper Kupp. Everybody's coming back. McVay, Stafford, everybody's coming back. So I imagine Cooper Kupp's gonna have some success next year, especially maybe even right from the get, maybe in the early half of the year. That's probably gonna be the last chance you're ever gonna get to sell Cooper Kupp. So if you're keeping Cooper Kupp throughout, you better hope you win a championship. I think because I think Cooper Kupp can still be good. But I think next year will be his last year of just being elite. So,
and you can say his name super fast. Cooper Kupp.
So Cooper Kupp.
Cooper
What
Kupp.
you think, man? Got Cooper Kupp on my team, but hey, I'm going for it all. So I'll hold the bag. I don't really give a fuck.
You know what's crazy? And this pertains to Cooper Kupp, but I was telling Noah earlier today, and we were, me and you, Chris and Phil, we're in that mock draft together. And I'm looking at like after the 5th round, like all these dudes suck. Like all these dudes are terrible. It's because we're drafting right after the season ended. Like we're starting to draft already. But when draft season comes around, optimism comes around. And that's when you sell Cooper Kupp. When all that optimism comes back, because when you do a draft, you do a mock draft around right before the season starts. You're doing redraft in August. You're like looking in the 9th round. You're like, man, this guy potential right here. But when you draft right after the regular season, right after fantasy is over, you're like, this guy is terrible. So Cooper Kupp, he's been injured. People are frustrated with him right now. So if you try to sell right now, you probably won't get the most. Wait until a week before y'all's draft comes around, before the little rookie draft comes around and all that optimism comes about. That's when you sell Cooper Kupp, players like that.
Right. Yep. But it's like I just said a second ago, man. There's some leagues that's so important to win that I'm keeping Cooper Kupp, and I don't care if I hold the bag. I'm just gonna hold that bag. Let's go. I think Cooper Kupp's gonna be good next year. What y'all say, fellas?
If Stafford's back, Cooper Kupp's gonna be just fine.
All right, shit. Go ahead. Throw us a wide receiver. What y'all think?
Tyreek.
Damn, already? I couldn't do it, man. Couldn't put him on my list.
Yep, Tyreek. I don't know what Tua's future is right now. And, I mean, finished as a wide receiver, was it 3? 3 this year? Yeah, wide receiver 3. He's done it before, but he's 28 years old. I mean, it's not super old for receivers, but, I mean, it's probably as high as he's going to get. And I'll go ahead and throw Devontae Adams in there, too. At 31 years old.
Yeah.
You know, he finished as wide receiver 2 again this year. And I was not expecting that with coming to the Raiders. The Raiders have QB questions. We were talking about Brady coming. I don't even know if that's even a good thing. You know, Mike Evans, he had some games. And he finished. Mike Evans finished as a wide receiver 17 with that massive blow-up game in that last week. So, Devontae next year with an uncertain QB situation. Tyreek, I did see that Tua is planning on coming back, but I mean, yeah, Tua's planning on coming back and being ready for next year. Tyreek should be fine, but if we're talking about sell highs, if you want to, just like we're talking about, you know, running backs, these are the guys at that kind of age right now where I'd much rather sell Tyreek to a contending team and get Garrett Wilson for myself if I'm not in like the top 4, top 5 teams in Dynasty. So that's just where I'm at on those. Devontae is more of a sell high to me than Tyreek, but what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I got Devontae on there too. The quarterback questions. Like you said, they could go and get Tom Brady, but at this point, I don't know if that's a good idea. Honestly, I mean, you're probably gonna get Tom Brady for a year, maybe 2 more years before he decides that he's done. I mean, shit. I've been seeing David Carr's been talking a bunch of shit, running his mouth. Old Derek Carr's, his older brother or something. He's been ringing a bunch of shit, talking about, oh yeah, they're gonna go and get a 45-year-old quarterback. Look how that's gonna work out for them, and talking shit. I don't know, man.
Yeah, gotta have his brothers back, I guess.
Yeah,
shit, I'll be up there saying the same shit about my brother. I'll be like, y'all get this motherfucker some help. Dude's up here playing with the Raiders.
I mean, Devontae Adams had 100 receptions, finished with 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns. I mean, half PPR, he was wide receiver 2. I think full PPR, he was wide receiver 3.
Yeah. Shoot. Chris, you throw us a wide receiver out there.
And I got Mike Evans on here. 77 receptions, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and half of his touchdowns came in one game. It came in one game. Yeah, it was against the Panthers. He caught 3 touchdowns against the Panthers. He got 6 touchdowns on the year. He caught 3 of them in one game. Literally made up. If you had Mike Evans that week, he bailed your ass out. He probably won you, could have won you a championship probably, but I think now is the time to sell. Tom Brady's gone. Tom Brady is out of Tampa Bay. I don't know where the hell they're going to go at quarterback. I don't know what's going on over there. But Mike Evans, he's just at that age, man. Get what you can for him.
Yep. I'm agreeing with you, man. I think that price definitely has to come. People got to know about how bad he was this year. You play it off to somebody, and you're just like, yo, look at this game he had. Because him and Tom Brady did not have the connection. I think they probably had some O-line problems. Tom Brady falling off a little bit. Mike Evans dropping some passes a little bit. It just never really worked out. So, yep, sell high. Get him while you can, because who knows what that quarterback situation is about to be like. Shoot, I'm going to throw one out there, though, for y'all. What about D-Hop? I think I might. Here's the thing. I think D-Hop's probably about to get traded.
I think he's definitely about to get traded.
Yeah, I think he could end up in a good spot. Like, I seen that he wanted to go to Jacksonville. That'd be a great spot. Still, though, we're getting
Damn, Jacksonville got the money for that.
That
I
would
doubt
be,
it. I
that
doubt
would
it.
be stacked. Good God.
That'd
Zay
be good.
Jones, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins. God damn.
That'd be stacked. And we're already seeing what he's doing right now. So, I don't know. D Hop, just he's getting a little up there in age. About to change to another team. Now might be go ahead and be a good time to sell him. Get a first for him. Get a little something. You know what I'm saying? So, what you saying? I love D Hop.
If I offered you a first of the last pick in the first round for D Hop, would you take it?
Yeah.
I think all of us would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us would.
What y'all mean? That's steroid boy. What y'all mean?
What
man?
about 203? If I came at you with a 203, would you keep D Hop at a 203?
I don't know. At that point, I'd probably try to get a young player. Would you take KJ Osborne in a third rounder for D Hop?
I don't know about that one.
Oh, nah, hell no.
For me to do that, though, now I might do that.
Adam Thielen's about to be gone.
I agree with that, but I have to see from the Vikings that they are dedicated to getting KJ Osborne the ball, like as the second guy. Because this year, they
at the end,
you're right. At the end, they did, but I mean,
and then
we don't obviously get to see him no more because they went out there and got smacked by the Giants. But
their defense got
hell
smacked.
no.
Their defense is terrible.
I could
never.
You
wouldn't if they say later on that Thielen is gone, like he retires or goes somewhere else. KJ Osborne is the number 2 receiver for the Vikings. You wouldn't take KJ Osborne in a third for Hopkins at age 31.
That third to a second.
I was about to say maybe if it was a second. KJ Osborne in a second.
I ain't too high on Hopkins right now. I'm not knowing where he's going and the age.
What if he ends up in Jacksonville?
I'm gonna be real, man. I don't think it matters where DeAndre Hopkins goes, man.
He's gonna get a lot of work for 1 year.
Yeah,
I feel like DeAndre Hopkins has been around for a minute.
He has been.
He has been,
man.
So sell high on D Hop, but y'all throw another wide receiver out there for us.
Debo.
Oh man, send him my way then.
And he ain't even that. Like I said, he ain't even that high right now. He dropped the hell off. What do you expect though, Matt? What do you expect out of this man next year with Kittle, McCaffrey, Ayuk coming back? He's gonna have some blow up games. I mean, he did it in the first playoff game. He's like I said too, though. People are watching these playoffs right now, and they're seeing Debo slathered in butter, untackleable. I ain't never seen a player that cannot be tackled, man. And this is not even a knock on Debo saying he's a sell high. Debo's talented as shit, and he is probably the most, I wouldn't say athletic, but I mean, elusive player out there. But the weapons in San Francisco is just too much for me to deal with. I would not draft Debo next year and feel comfortable saying, "Oh, this is going to be a consistent cog in my roster right here," because you don't know what you're going to get on a game-to-game basis with San Fran. So, except for McCaffrey's going to be consistent. So, what do you think about that, Chris?
I shipped out Debo. I'm glad I didn't keep him. Shipping out Debo won me the championship. So I got Christian McCaffrey in it.
Yeah, but last year was the time to do it when he finished.
I do agree that I don't think that there's going to be another year where he gets all them carries and he gets all those rushing yards and stuff like that. I think that's done. It's going to be running the ball. I mean, they'll put him out there for sure, but once Elijah Mitchell's back, I think they're going to run. You're going to see McCaffrey, Debo, and Elijah Mitchell all on the field at the same time.
He did get the bag, though, so when people get the bag, they got to get touches, too. Like Zeke, for instance.
Yep. So, yeah,
it's a tough one.
Sell high on Debo.
A first.
I was saying buy low.
Debo? Any kind of first? Like a 109?
Nah, I think I'd hold on to Debo.
What about you, Chris?
109.
It's so hard to answer these like the 109s and stuff because we don't know where these players are yet. You know, like what? Because a lot of these players could end up somewhere that just like, well, damn, I don't want this player because they playing
Yeah.
there.
I say we'll break it down all the way, and I'll really give you a good answer.
I mean, if you go based on last year, it was like 109 was probably Christian Watson, Chris Olave. Just say if it's a repeat of that, something like that, would you trade Debo for Olave or Garrett Wilson? Or Christian Watson? Chris?
It's tough.
I wouldn't trade him for Garrett Wilson, but maybe Olave and Christian Watson, though.
I need to see what's going to happen at quarterback for the Jets for Garrett Wilson.
I feel the most comfortable with the Jets having a good quarterback next year than any other teams. I think they're just too stacked around, like all the way around, to not just go for it next year.
Yeah.
Like even Derek Carr could go there, and that would be a good upgrade.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't see them just rolling out there with Zach Wilson and Mike White. I can't see it, man. Their team's too talented, and the Panthers are too talented. I think the Panthers are going to have a quarterback next year. I don't know.
I don't know about we don't have to draft one. How are we gonna get one in free agency? We're gonna have to trade for one.
Carolina's a decent place to live.
That's a nice place to live. Shit.
And that's what Brady and them are looking for right now. They ain't gonna go to.
Oh man, I don't even want Brady. I don't even want us to waste our time with Brady.
Brady be like, I go to Carolina. That division's easy as shit. Now all I gotta do is beat the Bucks.
All I gotta do is beat my own team.
That's just crazy. That shit would be crazy. Y'all got some more wide receiver names to toss on out there? To the world, to the public.
You got anything, Chris?
Yeah, I got wide receiver 10, Amari Cooper. Shouldn't even be rostered. Sell him high. 1,000 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. I'm telling y'all, if
disagree,
to sell high, I think that he's still going to produce, but I'm feeling like Donovan Peoples-Jones and Njoku are going to be Deshaun Watson's guys.
Oh yeah,
so he might drop off a bit.
No, I think Deshaun Watson's going to take a step up next year, and
Cooper
gonna be good. He gonna be a producer.
D Watt.
No, Cooper next year, probably 2 years from now. He'll be fine with Watson in there. Watson's gonna be fine next year.
Yep, I'm with you. How about George Pickens? Sell high on the hype.
Nah.
Okay, what about Godwin?
Yeah, all the Tampa Bay receivers. I got Gabe Davis. What do y'all think about Gabe?
Man,
playoff Gabe, man. He keeps doing what he's doing. Have another good playoff game. You ship that little inconsistent ass out, man.
Ship him out. Get that headache off your squad. Get him off your squad. All right, real quick, man. Y'all got any tight end names?
I got one.
Go ahead, throw him out there, Chris.
Tight end number 5 on the year, Evan Ingram. We don't know where this dude's going to be next year. And if he signs in Jacksonville, I feel like you hold him. I ain't even going to lie. I feel like if he signs back with Trevor Lawrence, I feel like you hold him.
Hell yeah. Man, what if T-Law gets this dub this weekend, man? Y'all.
Oh, man, I'm going to be fucking...
Oh, man, shit. Might be a Jacksonville fan. I've been hopping on the bandwagon. Man, way back in the day, I was saying to Phil, this was like right before Tennessee got good. I was like, man, I fucking hate the Falcons, man. Because I do, man. I love the Falcons, but I hate them too. I was like, I'm just going to go be a Tennessee fan. And then they got good, and I was like, well, I can't be a Tennessee fan because I jumped the bandwagon. Jacksonville, though, I've been on board since day one.
Since day one of Trevor Lawrence's.
Oh,
since he got picked number 1.
Big time. Big time.
That's
That's
Both
when they
times.
started. I'm pretty
Both
sure that's
times. When Deshaun Watson
What do you
got
mean
drafted,
when they started?
and when Trevor Lawrence got drafted, I was praying that these dudes was not going to the Browns. And look at this, we're like 6 years into his career, and Deshaun Watson is playing for the Cleveland Browns right now. I remember saying, please don't let the Browns draft this man. Going to Cleveland is a career killer, is what it is. Because that was during the string of they had Trent Richardson, fucking Johnny Manziel, but fuck Baker Mayfield didn't fucking work out, you know? I mean, and then they traded him. He went to Houston, and now he's in Cleveland, where he was originally going to be picked at.
But what I'm saying to you, Kraft, is I didn't even know Jacksonville Jaguars had a franchise before Trevor Lawrence got there. Day one, that was like the day they was born.
And they went to the AFC Championship with Bortles. Don't forget that.
Yep.
They had Jalen Ramsey at one point.
Yeah, they sure did.
And Calais Campbell. When Calais Campbell was the dude.
All right, then I got a tight end for you, Travis Kelce. But as I was writing that down, I was like, would I ever really sell Travis Kelce? I don't think I ever would. I would just ride it till the wheels fell off, man. So, what about Mark Andrews, though? Would you sell high on him? Uncertainty?
He's not high. I mean, he had a bad year.
What about
Hawkinson? He's not at his prime.
No, sell Hawkinson?
Hawkins is going to be great with Minnesota.
Who else up there? Can't sell high on Pitts. So, all right, then shit. Y'all got anything else to say? Y'all just want to wrap this one up? Sell high. Sell high, everybody.
Shoot, I got some players that you can avoid.
Avoid trading for or trading overall?
Trading for.
Go ahead, reel them all out.
Avoid the traps on these players. Number one, I know a lot of people. Alvin Kamara. You gonna see Alvin Kamara pop up in your trades a lot. People have been trying to get rid of him for that pending suspension. Gonna be 28 going into next year. Avoid it. Don't give up a bag that these people are asking for Alvin Kamara. Avoid it. He already had a bad year. He's gonna be suspended. Just stay away from it.
Would you pay? How about this though, Chris? Would you pay the 208 or the 209?
Yes.
For Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
What about the 205, 205, 206?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say about up to the 203, maybe. Yeah. But after above that, I just take what you can get. You know, in the draft.
Heard that. Give us another name, man.
Ezekiel Elliott, man. I don't know what's gonna happen in this backfield, but if Pollard stays, they gotta realize, fuck Zeke. Pollard is way better than Zeke. Let Pollard run the ball.
Did y'all realize in that playoff game when it really mattered, Pollard was the guy?
Yeah. Pollard's good, bro. Pollard is so good, too.
He's so damn good, man.
Crazy, man. Fuck. Wish I was Tony Pollard. Motherfucker's good as fuck.
I got another one. He blew up towards the end of the year, but I still think this dude ain't worth a fuck. Cam Akers. Don't give up anything for Cam Akers. You know, get rid of him. If you can get off of him, by all means, get off of him. But I'm telling you, avoid trade for this motherfucker. You know, like I wouldn't go get him.
I'd give Cam Akers away for a second, just like that. Just
another hit IR. Chicago's best receiver, Darnell Mooney. Avoid Darnell Mooney in a trade. I just don't see anything happening. I want to see what Chicago's going to do with this pick. If they end up getting a receiver, they do have like the most cap space. They have enough room to make moves. I've never even really thought of Darnell Mooney as the number one guy.
He's a beast.
He's a good player, yeah. But
I like Mooney.
I like Mooney too. I disagree, Chris. I agree with all your other statements, but I disagree.
Fuck out of here, man. Get
Don't put Darnell Mooney in the same category as them other guys. Get the hell out of here.
Man, fuck Mooney. All right, shit. Any more, Chris?
That's it.
Darnell Mooney.
You know you got some more.
Well, I got any Broncos receiver. I'm just continuing my Broncos hate, my Russ hate. They got rid of that coach and all that, but man, I got to see I got to see something from Russ to just prove that it wasn't just the coach. You know, like I got to see something because I feel like once you get out there on that field and you're the quarterback behind the center, you can say fuck what that coach tells you to run, and you go out there and run whatever the fuck you want to run. Like you get in that huddle and be like, look, you do this, you do this, you do this. I'd be like, Coach, that's a stupid ass play you just asked me to run. I ain't running that shit. Run something else. They ain't gonna bench Russell Wilson.
Real quick, I texted during this episode. I texted Zamil. I said, "What's the word on T Higgins?" And the man said, 3 first rounders, or he's retiring on his team. I'm thinking I'm about to really send him 3 first rounders. What y'all think? And just call his bluff. I think you think he'll
we gonna be
accept
getting
it,
that.
3 late first rounders.
Accept it.
3 late first.
I'm gonna give him a 107. But the thing is, it's got to be a 24 and a 25. I might just send them all to him and be like, "Give me T Higgins then." Just
do it.
See, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, man." I don't know if he'd really do it. I don't know if I'd do it. I don't want to give 3 firsts for T Higgins.
I feel like that's gonna be one of the things that you're gonna be hitting up the group chat. Like, oh, bet I was just kidding, bro. He actually accepted this shit. I remember I fucked up during the year and sent something to David and accidentally sent for Antonio Brown instead of something else, and then he let me know he didn't accept it, and he was like, "Oh man, I just wanted to let you know that you sent the wrong thing, so I fixed it." I was like, "Shit, you better than me."
I know, especially in that league. Cutthroat. I would have been like, "Shit, you fucked up." What's up, Crab?
I got a question for you, for both of y'all.
Yeah.
What is the value to all the newer Dynasty players out here? What's the value of a first round pick not like 2 years from now? Not the upcoming year, but the year after. I want to hear, like, is that the same worth as like a second round pick the upcoming year? Or, I mean, patience isn't one of them things that a lot of people have. So if you send like a 2024 first to somebody, what do you expect in return? Just is there a player that pops the head like worth a 2024 first rounder? Because you have no idea what that first is even going to be.
My thing is I just never even care if it's like what am I saying? Now I'm starting to care about a 24 draft capital. But for a while, I definitely wasn't caring about that shit. Like if you sent me a 25 first for like any decent player that's going to be on my roster, I'm probably just going to reject that shit because it would have to really be a player that I'm just like not sold on. Because I'm trying to win like every year. I know some people, I'm going to be honest, I listen to some podcasts, they're talking about you need to be at the top and you need to be at the bottom. Like, I don't know if I really believe in that. I think you should just build your team the whole way and just try to win every year in fantasy.
Yeah,
so no way.
You can win as the 6th seed. Noah won as the 6th seed this year. He barely made the playoffs and won.
Shoot, by all of our rankings, I was projected to finish like what, 8th?
Yeah,
in our league. I won the championship.
So if you got a chance to go for it, I go for it. Shit like that. So I don't know. You know.
So like if I offered you a 2025 first for Kadarius Toney, would you take it?
Man, I'm gonna be real. Probably not. I don't know, man. Maybe because it's Kadarius Toney. Because I did just accept it for basically the 201 just yesterday. But that was like one where Will hit me up. I was like, man, oh well, like.
So what about? I know we're talking about these values. I'm glad that you asked that because I've been wondering that too. Like what everybody thinks about these values. What about the situation I'm in? You know, I've got David's pick next year. For a team, if you got somebody in your league that has traded away almost every single asset that they have, what is the value of that first round pick? You know, because we're talking about a potential first overall pick.
That's what I did. I went at the start of this year when I traded Zeke. I went to about 4 teams. I said, I want a first for Zeke. And every single one of them pretty much wanted it. I looked at who I thought had the worst possible team, which was Matt. And I traded it to Matt, and he ended up with the 102. So But when you make these trades, don't just go with your first option. If you got a couple people out there that want it, look at the worst team available. If you got it set up that way where the worst team gets the first pick, trade it to the worst team.
Yeah.
I don't care if it makes them better. It makes me better.
So my situation is the person's pick I have, their only valuable assets at this point are Nick Chubb, whose value is decreasing rapidly, and Chris Godwin, and his values, we've already said, Tom Brady's no longer going to be in Tampa Bay. So, I feel like those are his only assets. He got rid of everything else. Blew up everything.
Yeah, them first, you really got to be careful when you see a first. You got to make sure people new to Dynasty, look from where that first is coming from. Because it could end up being the 110, which is no different than a 201. No different than a second rounder. Very close.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Shit. What y'all think, man? Y'all want to wrap it on up?
Yeah. Let's wrap it. Put a bow on it.
Sell high, man. Sell high.
Sell high.
Sell high. So, sell high on your shit. Whatever. What should I say? Add the podcast. 5-star review. Check us out on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, the Discord. What else is there to say, fellas?
That's it. You normally miss the Discord, but you hit it right there at the end.
Man, join the Discord, man. Hop on the Discord. It's going down in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? So, you know how we do. Anything else? Crap, man. You got to say anything to say before I exit us out, Chris?
Nah, I'm good, man. Chris needs a beard and a goatee to go with that stash, but that's it. There it is.
I can't grow a beard, man. I can't grow a beard. I can give you white trash trailer park beard. Is what I can give you. Patchy, like Patches O'Houlihan is what I can give you, but I can't give you anything else other than that. My son got a thicker beard than I do right now. Shit.
That peach fuzz.
Well, shit, man. I guess that's it, man. We out.
Peace.
Yeah.